You're listening to the AfterBuzz TV network, now the largest new media platform on the web, and your number one source for after-show entertainment.
Very good, Gene. Johnson.
The AfterBuzz Studios in Los Angeles, California. Presented by Maria Menounos and streaming live thanks to Akamai Technologies. This is AfterBuzz TV's WWE Monday Night Raw After Show. We'll break down tonight's episode and get you all the latest news and gossip. And now, another post-game wrap-up show for your favorite TV show. It's AfterBuzz TV's WWE Monday Night Raw After Show.
Yes, if you need a city. Oh, here we go.
Come on down to
Cleveland town, everyone.
come and look at
Both of our buildings. Yes, if you need a city to follow up the anger and energy of a Pittsburgh Royal Rumble, where better than a city that hasn't won a sports championship in 50 years? Welcome to the Raw After Show. They came to you from Cleveland. We come to you from Los Angeles. Johnny Loquasto here. Next to my left is Cathy Kelley, looking like a vixen tonight. The road to WrestleMania has begun for you.
I was gonna say that Cleveland did really well with the Major League trilogy.
Okay, no, they didn't. They did okay. They did fine with the first one, indecent with the second one.
The third one was kind of
the third one back to the minors was minor league.
The first one was pretty phenomenal. So
It was. I enjoyed the second one. I liked Rube Baker. I liked that character. I like the fact that Jake Taylor was managing.
Yeah.
But the third one, back to the minors, I don't need Scott Bakula managing my baseball team. That's just my opinion.
And thank you to everyone who's tweeting me about the Indians tonight, who all knows that I'm a huge Indians fan. So.
You are a huge Indians fan, and it looks like you just dominated the red carpet and just showed up here. Like you got the medallion, you got the leather skirt thing, just working it, Kath. What's going on tonight?
It's all cheap and fake. So.
Hollywood. Across from me, a very good friend of mine, a first-time but brand new friend of the show. Find him on Twitter at Andy_Peters. He's the host of the Wandertown podcast that will be going to South by Southwest this year. Find it at SoundCloud.com/Wandertown. Andy Peters, everybody.
Hey, everyone. Hi. Thanks for having me, gang.
I know you've wanted to do it for a while. I know you're a lifer.
I've been bugging you.
You're a lifer.
As far as wrestling? Oh,
Yes. You and I have done
Trinidad probably.
I'm in deep.
That's why.
Yeah, I hear I'm following.
trumped.
I'm following on the Chavo Guerrera heels.
Chavo and Thea on the same show.
Chavo. Yeah.
Exactly.
Tough shoes to fill. I'm feeling good. A lot of confidence. I'm feeling good going into this.
And you and I have done some funny projects in the past.
Yep.
Wrestling-themed projects.
I used to have a wrestling podcast that you were on one of the very first episodes too. The Rough House. Those guys are dead to me. If you're watching, you're dead to me. They moved to Baltimore and they just uprooted and left my life in shambles.
You know, we had fun though. I had a good time playing. Honest Jimmy Jacobs here.
Yep.
Chicken and gravy.
We used to do the SGW sketches.
We sure did. It was
running
fun.
rampant. We used to run rampant.
Well, welcome to the show, man. We're very
Thanks for
glad to
having
have you. You are check him out. He's a hilarious comic, one of my favorites, and just knows so much about wrestling. He's great to have on the show. Now, next to you, supposed to be none other than the walking Dale Rutledge. I don't know. He's never been late before,
Where's
so
DR?
I don't know.
Can I call him DR?
Whoa! Wait a minute.
What is that?
What the hell?
What is that?
You and I know who's music. Oh! What's in the bag? What is happening? Hold on. No. Dude, be careful with the bag. Oh my God! Oh man! We have a new AfterBuzz Predictions champion, ladies and gentlemen. I give to you.
That was grandiose.
At The Walking Dale Rutledge.
Look at it.
That's right, Kathy. You're not the only one that has something cheap and fake in this building.
Bam!
With this new look. Look at the new look. He's more backwards than ever.
Right? Trust me.
That
Wow.
first time winning, guys.
Congratulations,
And
Dale.
I did it in a landslide.
You did.
Landslide.
You got everything correct, didn't you?
everything. Even Reigns
Perfect
breaking the streak.
predictions.
Yep.
Yeah.
You had 12. Well, I say 11 and a half because of Torito, but we'll round it to 12.
How come for
That's
Jake the
mildly
Snake's for Jake the Snake's entrance music, they never let it in with like a phrase like "You're about to get snaked," and then the music happened. It was always to me like, whose music is this?
Well, you do remember "Trust Me" though. That was his second second go. I was like, it just kept saying over and over, "Trust me,
trust me,
trust me," and it was scary.
And who trusts a guy whose nickname's the Snake?
No, I don't know.
Nobody.
I
don't think you should.
No.
I would advise against it.
And I especially when the Snake came back as a religious wingnut his second time around.
Yep. And John 3:16 was born.
Yeah.
He launched that.
He really did. He got rid of the ringmaster, and I'm sure Stone Cold is very grateful for it.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
He pretty much launched. I think Jake. We need to give credit where credit's due. Jake the Snake started the Stone Cold movement.
Much like Mick Foley's son Dewey said in his angry blog last night that his dad made Triple H the cerebral assassin, which that's easy to argue.
I don't know if that's
well, come on, they had some tiffs
Did
together.
he coin the phrase cerebral assassin? Who coined that phrase?
No, but I think Mick Foley and Mankind, if you will, brought out that new side that I don't think people have seen.
I did come to the Raw show, right? I'm just making sure.
Sorry,
This is the right studio.
Yeah, the flashback.
Yes,
the flashback.
He's getting us on track.
Hey, we have a new WWE Hall of Famer, and it just happens to be that Andy and I's favorite wrestler, so we got to give it a shout.
He's not a Hall of Famer yet.
Yeah.
What do you think could happen between now and then?
Yeah, what's he going to have a run-in?
We're going to recap that on the
you're saying.
I know.
Okay.
So every now and then something's worth.
I'm just happy. Two of my favorites. They're getting the nod this year.
Sometimes you got to let something out of the bag, like Dale just did with that championship. You know?
Yep.
He literally had something in that bag.
Now guys,
just for you.
Yeah, exactly. It wouldn't be fair to our audience, though. Yeah, we're going to recap Raw. But we need to talk about the insanity that was the Pittsburgh crowd at the Royal Rumble, because I don't know if I've seen that much anger on the internet from wrestling fans.
Straight heat. Straight pure heat sauce.
Yeah, not even heel heat, just heat. There were
I don't
people,
think you can call it heat. It's just anger. Just human,
just pissy.
human
Just straight
real anger.
Pissy.
there were unemployed people just protesting outside of headquarters today.
Yeah.
And in Cleveland, I think.
All they want to do, all these all the steelwork, what do you call the Pittsburgh? The Rust Belt. All these Rust Belt people do, they want to see their hero do their hero thing, and they didn't get it last night, and it perturbed them.
Well, what about in Connecticut, where everyone's loaded? They just showed up at headquarters and protested outside there.
Is that a first? That's got to be a first. They protested wrestling.
I heard, multiple people tweeted this and Facebooked it today, but that BBC was reporting on how many people were upset with the turnout of last night. Like, if BBC gets involved,
That's
you
totally
have
weird.
a problem.
Yeah.
Professional wrestling fans are angry.
That was kind of like an Australian.
I know.
That dipped into a little Australian.
They're hanging out in droves outside of WWE headquarters.
And they still figured out a way to say Obama, which is my favorite BBC. President Obama today made an announcement in regards to the Royal Rumble turnout.
It is weird. I haven't seen something like that in I don't know, a really long time. I can't think of another good example where it was just straight outrage like that.
And I wonder if they had to explain to Rey Mysterio, like, Rey, those are called boos. Like, I don't think he's ever been booed in his entire
poor Rey,
career. I know.
yeah.
Well, I mean,
he got the brunt of it.
He got the boo for the situation. They weren't booing him. They were booing the situation.
Yeah.
I bet he was pretty bummed today. Someone had to sit him down and be like, Ray, Bubba, Sweetums.
You're doing fine.
You weren't getting booed.
It wasn't you.
Everyone loves you.
They still love you, buddy.
Yeah.
You're the man. You're the little guy that good. You're the dude.
The thing that surprised me the most, though, is that Bryan had an awesome match. Like, that match with Bray blew the show. It was a great way. Yeah, great way to start the show. Right. It's not like we didn't get Daniel Bryan. We got an awesome showing from him.
Right, but I think a lot of the anger stems from not necessarily the fact that Bryan wasn't in the Rumble. I think what really set them off is the fact that Batista, it was arguably one of the most predictable Royal Rumble finishes ever. And it's true that Batista's probably back because of his movie. And so I just feel like that really set off fans.
What are you talking about? He's back to win the championship. He's back for one reason and one reason only. He made that very clear.
Very clear.
It's crazy, though, that for how many people predicted Batista to win, and they weren't upset about it when we all predicted it.
Right.
They were upset after it happened.
Exactly.
My whole thing was I didn't even expect Bryan to be in there. I don't know where the upset of him not even being in it.
A couple people I feel like had hopes that he would be in there as well.
But that's what I thought it was. It was just hope.
I just think
fan hope.
I think people wanted wanted a surprise. They wanted, and granted, there's a couple surprise entries. You know, Sheamus, Kevin
Torito.
Nash,
Speaking of
El
that,
Torito.
where was Jake the Snake in the Rumble? That was the surprise I was looking for.
I know.
Jake the Snake, or they missed a lot of boats. They could have had the Genius come out and have a Genius off with Damian Sandow.
That would have been great.
They
I
missed
just don't
the
know.
boat on that.
I don't know if Jake can go over the top rope and down to the floor. I don't know.
yet.
I don't know what his condition is like.
I don't
for
think
that.
he's been doing ring work, so he's probably not ready for that yet.
It would be a very ginger, like someone would hit him and he would just lift his leg out and then the other leg
Right.
and just walk out of the ring, but like still selling it like, but it would be the slowest exit from a Rumble ever, like a very ginger Rumble exit.
That's basically what JBL did.
Yeah, that is what he did.
He went in wingtips. It's like
Well, they said that might
Take
have
my
been what
jacket.
put the kibosh on Jake, too, because they already had a guy with a bad back and no knees gingerly exiting.
there were 2 men in dress pants out of the 30 guys last night in the Rumble.
It was almost like JBL was like, don't throw me out, I'll take the stairs. I'll just get myself out.
I see. I'm leaving.
Go right
I'm
over
not-
here. I know.
I know when I'm not wanted.
They set the record for from now on in like the Rumble previews every year. There have been 2 pairs of dress pants in the
Has
Royal
anyone
Rumble.
ever left the Rumble that way? Just like, I can't handle this. It's too stressful. I'll show myself out.
Wait, yes. I want to say, wasn't Pete Rose in the Rumble one year
And
and
he
he
showed
saw
himself
Kane
out?
and jumped himself?
Oh, yeah.
No, or someone did.
Kane made
Maybe I'm
somebody
wrong.
crap their pants and he
Oops, I crapped my
he
pants.
relieved himself from the Rumble.
Dude, was that a double entendre for relieved himself?
Yep, triple on top.
Nice
That
work.
was triple.
Nice work.
We triple dipped.
But I just think we had to go into that because leading into Raw, you can't really talk about Raw without talking about what happened at the Royal Rumble because you know,
it's all connected. We're on the road right now.
I mean,
it's all part of the road.
The Yes Movement is a phenomenon. They were just going nonstop, even during Cena and Orton, and then the anger when Rey Mysterio hit the ring, knowing full well that there was not going to be a number 31. And then the way Batista won, once it was down to him and Roman Reigns, and the fans were all about Reigns.
Yeah, I did really think that we weren't even gonna hear anything that anybody said tonight because it was just gonna be one consistent boo or Daniel Bryan chant.
And it kind of was.
I don't know. They recovered pretty well.
I
think
like
so.
that they addressed it tonight, and whether it was written like this or they had to do it on the fly because of the reaction that they got from last night, I really enjoyed this. And I mean, we always say that the Monday Night Raws after pay-per-views are great, and I think that this is no exception.
Even Triple H's opening line of "Did somebody not get what they want?"
Amazing.
Like,
so much.
Well, they have a great tool with the Authority right now to do that. Like anything.
Another
that
double
upsets the
entendre.
fan. Yeah. Well, they can always recover from anything by having Triple H come out and be like, "Oh, guys."
I was thinking about it tonight, though, and how upset we've been that Daniel Bryan hasn't gotten a formidable opponent. And I feel like the Authority is the biggest opponent of all. And for him to be facing them every single week is just, he is that, top
Triple
of the
H,
roster
Daniel
guy.
Bryan. Yep. Can we see that?
But then, speaking of which, who was not on Raw tonight? Punk.
No Punk.
Punk being taken out by Kane last night, you would think that's setting up something for the Chamber. Well, if Daniel Bryan's biggest problem is the Authority, well, so is Punk's. I mean, I don't know. I don't know what it's going to lead to. I mean, Bryan's...
I don't know. Pretty much covers it, I think.
I guess I didn't even have that thought. Yeah, no Punk tonight.
No, I'd like to think that the Elimination Chamber will lead to something. I think they realize already that Batista versus Randy Orton is not what people want to see. You unified the belts. You got one major championship now.
Yeah.
I don't think people want to see Batista, who's clearly got ring rust. He was blown within 2 minutes of getting in the ring last night. He was exhausted.
He was a little winded.
Yeah.
He took a couple corner rests. Like he propped himself in the corner a couple times.
We've got 69 days to go. A lot of things can happen in that many days, so I'm not really worried about it.
They were kind of setting up a triple threat, maybe possible. We were talking about that.
Yeah.
Lesnar, Orton, Bautista.
That I could really get into.
Absolutely, and I'm with you. I think they did recover quite well tonight. And you got to believe they're probably happy with the social media. Any press is good press or whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, even though Mick Foley was rather perturbed last night with his blog that he wrote.
They'll just use that as press.
You know they will.
Like whenever the whole universe or somebody comes out as like the voice of what the fans are thinking, they're just always going to use that. It's always good for the WWE to do that. They want people to be upset.
You never know. It could end up being all part of the master plan.
Yeah.
Which could happen. It is WrestleMania 30. You got to put all the stops. And if that means fooling everyone on the internet, then so be it.
Yep. Just make them all the more excited once WrestleMania hits.
Yeah. All I know is there was a lot of DVDs being broken last night in fat kid apartments because...
Didn't see that.
Wow.
A lot of DX shirts got burned last night.
Yeah. Yep, a lot of stuff happened. But anyways, the Authority hits the ring to start off Monday Night Raw, and like you mentioned, Triple H, did someone not get what they wanted? He mentioned that Randy Orton will defend his title in the Elimination Chamber, obviously against 5 other superstars. Before him and Steph go any further, Daniel Bryan's music hits to the delight of Cleveland, Ohio, and of course, yes, everywhere, all over the place. Bryan, is having fun with it. He's like, stop chanting for me. We don't want to make the Authority mad. And he talked about how many people considered his match the match of the night at the Royal Rumble, to which Triple H once again condescendingly says, yeah, man, you had a good little effort, man.
The condescension, is that? That sounds like your window gets condensation, right?
I kind of like condescension. I think it might be a word.
Condescension.
Let's make it happen.
Yeah, you're the champion. You can make it a word.
Condescension movement.
I think Triple H is doing such a good job at that character.
Him and Stephanie kill that every week. Just anything they deliver, they're just like...
The sort of royal couple of the WWE.
They finish each other's sentences when one of them messes up a thing, the other one picks it up.
Yeah, I think it's so perfect. It's good on them. I really like it.
No, it works really well. I think
how many different people
did power couple?
Yeah. And then they cover each other. How many people did they cram into that opening segment? They kept bringing people out, right?
Sometimes you got to do that.
Yeah. I don't know exactly. Yeah, it was a good handful of folks.
Yeah. Did the Shield come out in the opening chunk?
They did right after that, yeah. But, it was funny. I like that they had Bryan address the issue himself, rather than, Triple H made fun of it, but Bryan comes out and really gets to say, like, everything that has been talked about for the last 24 hours. I think that kind of helps.
And months, really, since SummerSlam almost.
Yeah, but, the way everyone exploded, it was good for them to address it right out the gate of the beginning of the show.
He did, and he said, you don't care about what's best for business. All you care about is what's worse for Daniel Bryan. And that's when Stephanie perfectly says, do you really think the people came here to see you? And that place went nuts.
Exploded.
Yes.
That was
and it was
great.
Perfect timing, too, with the crowd reaction and her finishing her sentence.
Yeah. It was like spot on, like a planned thing almost. It was so perfect. Like they were like, dang, dude, and we came here for him.
And they must know. I think they probably had that discussion, or like, what are the sentences that are going to get a yes chant instantly? They probably listed all those off. Like figuring out what will get that exact response.
Good writing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Perfectly done. Daniel Bryan then said in the Elimination Chamber, I want in that match. He tells Stephanie to step aside and then gets in Triple H's face.
Oh, yeah.
And he says, I don't think either of us should leave the ring until I get what I want. And Triple H says, it's not just us in the ring. And that's when your boy's music hits. The Shield come down to the ring, start to beat up Daniel Bryan.
Seth Rollins.
Can we talk about that? Seth had a bit of a rough entry. They tried to do his usual badassery, and he got a little bumpy. Got a little bumpy for Rollins.
Seth versus the Barricade. Barricade won.
Barricade. Yeah, but he had a rematch with the Barricade later, and he came out on top. It's a 1-1. They got to have a rubber match next week.
You wearing the conductor hat knows the train went off the tracks on that one a little bit.
How dare you? How dare you hit me with such refreshing comedy? I'll take it, but there will be a retort later.
I can't wait.
I'll be thinking of it in the midterm.
You got about an hour.
In the midterm.
We can go midterm, yeah, sure.
So many words are being created tonight.
We're creating some good stuff.
The midterm.
Yeah. So poor Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins.
I have to give credit to Evan Showstopper on Twitter, yo.
Twitter.
Evan
See what his nickname did to you?
On Twitter. He came up with Seth Rollins.
Boom.
Pretty
Hashtag.
good. Yeah.
Well, we stole it, so it's not yours anymore, Seth.
And apparently it's a GIF,
Sorry,
too,
pal.
of him just falling over the barricade.
It is.
Poor guy.
People are on point.
It don't take long for that to happen.
No.
And then who else came out? And then
well, that was when Lobsterhead
came out.
Yeah, Lobsterhead. It's a shameful thing. Sheamus down at the ring, trying to help out Daniel Bryan. Of course, the Shield starts destroying him. Then hustle, loyalty, respect. He gets his ass to the ring. John Cena setting up a triple threat match tonight, where the winners are going to be in the Elimination Chamber against Randy Orton.
Now, was that clearly stated? Did someone say the winners? I really missed that.
They did make the announcement.
I didn't catch. They kept reiterating.
I believe Brad Maddox, which we'll get to, because apparently he still is.
Who really knows how to fill out a vest?
Yeah,
Can we talk about Maddox and his amazing?
Well, hold on.
Rude.
We have.
He's not the best at the vest.
Yeah, Dale's vest for business. He
Top
wears the
5
vest
best vests in wrestling.
Pretty good.
Would he crack the top? I don't know.
Easily.
Maddox. Who else has rocked the vest? I can't even think of a good vest.
I don't know.
I feel like Val Venus probably rocked a vest at some point. He seems
Jim
very
Cornette.
vesty.
Jim Cornette.
used to rock a vest.
Yeah.
Sure.
I'm sure JR probably JBL might be rocking vests on occasion.
Oh, JBL,
I mean, Stone
think.
Cold is obviously the
yeah.
best there
The
ever
most
was.
noticeable vest.
Yeah, I'll be honest. I don't think I can carry a leather vest.
Top
Don't
vest
think.
in wrestling. But does it count?
Certainly not shirtless.
He did the open. He wasn't brave enough to button it up. He did an open vest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
Well,
can
it
we
was
just-
coming off in the ring.
Maddox has the muscle, but he's going like he's cinching it. He
Yeah.
goes full bore.
Yeah, he's barely contained in that thing, to be honest
It's
with
popping
you.
out.
He's a general. He needs to go to Men's Warehouse and get it upsized a little
Button's
bit.
gonna take out someone in the front row.
Well, that is setting up for the main event. Moving on, we have Rey Mysterio and Sin Cara versus the Real Americans. I'll tell you what, fun match here.
Yeah.
But it starts off with a little bit of fun from Zeb Coulter, as always. It's the
That's
mic.
fine.
He goes, "Where I'm from, the only people wearing masks are criminals. And the only crime I see is that neither one of you have been deportado."
What did his sign say? It's Juan or Juan?
It's Juan.
I
like-
want you to leave.
I
Yeah.
want you to leave. or something
Still
like that.
rocking the Yosemite Sam mustache.
Zeb's really good at arts and crafts with the signs.
Yeah, when do you think he breaks those out? Like, do you think he shows up to the arena early and be like, I need sign time. I
Yeah.
need to sit in a corner. I need a Sharpie on set.
where are
I
my
need
markers?
Some plasterboard. I need a little bit of sign time. I'm going to show up early.
Let me trace your hand. I need to trace a hand running.
I want to make a turkey. Give me your hand.
Who here can do box letters? I don't know how to do box letters.
But that was fantastic to start out this match. Very interesting at one point because for the first time, we've seen Zeb get a little bit physical. He scolds Big Hoss and then slaps him right in the face.
He's not happy with his team right now.
Yeah, that surprised me.
That was, yeah.
I don't know how to
out
take
of
it.
nowhere.
Well, can you remember what either of those two boneheads did in the Rumble? No, very unmemorable. Zeb's a little hot about it.
probably a little hot, but hey.
Cesaro had a pretty good Rumble.
Sure did.
That was his first, maybe,
He
or
dished out
second.
a couple swings. He dished
Yeah.
out a couple swings.
He had some really good swings, and
he
he
must
kept
have
some.
swung Rollins 93 times.
Yeah,
I
he
think
did
so.
it till the next person came in. He
Well,
wore down the clock.
They had the camera zooming in and out. I think I threw up watching that because it got me dizzy.
It was a long time, but it was pretty great. I like
Yeah.
when they take a breather to do something in a Rumble like that. I kind of like that.
Mm-hmm.
The swing's a great move because anybody can do it, but nobody can master it with the finesse that Cesaro has done and do it to the guys that he's done it with. Like anybody can swing a dude.
Can you? You make it look like
I would
it's.
grab you right now and I'll swing around the studio.
You make it look like it's
so
walking up
many
a flight of stairs. Anyone can walk up a flight of stairs. That's what you make
I mean,
it sound
like.
like.
You couldn't do one swing on your buddy.
I don't know. It's not one of those things I've really looked into.
All right, well,
I think
the science is out on it.
I used to babysit and like swing the kid
That's what I'm
around. And
talking
after
about.
like 2 or 3, I would get dizzy and not want to do it anymore.
Right.
Yeah.
And if there wasn't a pool for them to land in, it was going to be trouble.
Or a couch.
They do a lot of moves like that. They do the swing, and they also, the Real Americans do the double up pump
Yep.
where it looks like they're going to throw a little brother into the pool. They do that move. The double slam. They're doing a lot of little brother moves.
A lot of fun stuff between these two teams. Like you mentioned, the double slam to Sin Cara, and then just when the Deportados had an advantage, Sin Cara goes off the ropes into the monster European uppercut, and then of course the neutralizer. While Mysterio was taking out Big Hoss on the outside, but I guess the slap to the face worked because the Real Americans W.
Yep.
I thought it was going to go the other way for a little bit.
Me too. This actually surprised me, and honestly, I think Cesaro came out looking really strong in this match. Like,
Do you
As
think
always.
they're in the tag team picture, maybe?
I'd like to see a big. We were talking about this a little bit. I'd like to see some kind of 4-corner tag title
The
match.
tag team division is really fun right now.
Yeah.
There's some really good tag teams.
I just don't know how much longer Cesaro can stay heel. Swagger,
Yeah. Stay
yes,
heel?
but
Yeah.
it's
Swagger will be heel forever. I really think
Yeah.
he could pull off heel for. He's a lifer in the heel.
They could keep this gimmick going and get Cesaro out and bring somebody else in
Yeah.
for
You
it,
think he
and
could
it
be a
would be.
face, Cesaro?
Oh yeah.
yeah.
The
could
question is,
imagine
though, do they make a title run before that happens? I mean, there's so many. Right now, you have the Outlaws that are the champions. You have the Rhodes brothers that are still on their heels.
Gold's Roads.
Usos.
Gold's Rhodes. Usos
Rhodes.
are on fire.
Yeah.
I don't know why the primetime players aren't. But
Los
What happened to
Matadores.
PTP? Los Matadores with.
Where is PTP?
well, considering the Los Matadores El Torito was in and not them, I don't think we can.
That's got to be insulting. They must have been backstage like, are you kidding me? They had to do the entrance for El Torito to get him into the Rumble, and neither of those two got a chance.
Hey, at least they were on the pay-per-view.
Yeah,
That's a slap
true.
to the face.
And El Torito had an
Is
elimination.
it? It's a new gimmick.
All right, well, I can see I'm the odd man out on this conversation.
It was cool to have somebody in there that was different, and I guess he's shorter than Hornswoggle, so he broke the
Hornswoggle versus El Torito, could we see that at the Mania?
No, Hornswoggle is not in shape.
The Mania pre-show, we finally get down to who's the biggest, littlest man.
Yeah.
Triple threat of all the biggest, littlest
Who's
men.
the real anonymous Raw GM? Figure that out at WrestleMania pre-show.
Wait, didn't they? It was Hornswoggle.
It was Hornswoggle.
Oh my gosh.
Everything is Hornswoggle.
Everything's Hornswoggle.
Every mysterious is
Does he still live under the ring? Because we haven't seen him in a while.
He could.
Remember when they showed his apartment that's under the ring?
They had that at WrestleMania Access one year. You
has
could like
little living
go
quarters.
under the living
Yep.
quarters to see what his house
Where
was
he
like
lives.
under the
That's
ring.
amazing.
It was pretty cool, actually.
Pulling out all this stuff. I hope they have it this
solid.
year because we're going.
That's right, dog.
We are
It's going to be
going.
exciting. Whatever it is, it's going to be exciting.
But yeah, Real Americans pull off the win. So maybe, I don't know, maybe we're going to get more an aggressive Zeb. A more hands-on Zeb.
He might just
Literally.
be... Yeah, he might just be happy with his guys for a while. Because you can't ask a lot of those two guys.
No.
Just, they got their win. For the next couple weeks, he's going to lay off of them a little bit.
I don't know. I think he might take him to the woodshed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Think so?
I don't think you just slap once.
Give him some stashitude.
It's like
It's
when
like
you...
the abusive parent.
Yeah.
It's like, you better win or else.
Yeah.
It's like a dad in Little League.
You're ashamed
I'll
of the
send you home
family.
crying.
Which would be a great wrestling character. A Little
my
League
God.
dad band.
Oh my God. A Little League.
A Little League dad?
Just cheer the whole
Great.
time.
And his name's just like Jerry Strombowski. And he
Go to
just
the ref.
argues
Did you
with the
see
wrestler.
that? Did you see that?
And he gets sent to his car all the time. Sir, you got to go to your car. You got to watch the match from your car.
And every time he loses, he just chastises him going back up the ramp and his head's down.
And he's arguing the whole way down the ramp. You need some eyeballs, ref. You need some eyeballs.
You
But
see
he's
him
still
on
leaving.
on the apron, just sucking on a Capri Sun.
Yeah. Asking for extra orange wedges. But
Damn
he brought the fruit roll-ups. Like, well, I'm bringing the fruit roll-ups back to the car.
If we were doing this show in 1996, this would be possible.
We'd be killing right now.
Yeah.
These jokes would be crushing in 19.
You know, he could feud with the Goon.
Yeah.
But I've got
I wonder what the Goon's up to. He probably is a used car salesman.
Well, unfortunately for us, that idea is not going to work because there is some bad news coming up, Dale.
Oh boy. Oh, he's got it. He's ready.
Yes?
I almost had my hand in that vicinity.
Oh boy.
Thank you. I wanted to make this longer. Appreciate it.
Apparently it's bad news time.
Yes. Can I have some decorum, please? You especially
Sorry.
with the funny hat.
Sorry.
Got bad
It's not
news for
that funny,
TV
and it's-
viewers.
I
Listen
don't-
when I'm speaking in
I
a
don't
funny
think it's train
accent.
conductory.
Got bad news for TV. Whoa, for TV viewers, Miz versus Ziggler in the Battle of Cleveland. Not for that. Oh, wait, hold on. I messed up what he said there. What did he say? What did he
You're
say?
distracted.
I'm distracted by the funny hat. No, we're lucky it's not the kind of matchup where it's a battle for Cleveland, because there'd be two losers.
Wow.
Yes.
Can we
Oh,
just
that's glass. I'm not going to do that very hard.
Let's not
Right,
do
be
that
quiet.
with the gavel.
Can we clarify something real quick on the
sure.
Battle of Cleveland?
Go ahead.
Both guys not from Cleveland. I hate to shatter any dreams. One's from Parma, one's from Akron.
Okay.
Those are towns outside.
Well,
of
LeBron
Cleveland.
James is also from Akron, but he called Cleveland his home for quite a long time.
All right. Well, I guess if you live out, then I'm from Detroit, but I'm from 45 minutes south of Detroit. But I'll claim it.
Hey, look, if I'm doing a house
If we're
show in
just
Philly,
claiming it,
I'm
I'd give
saying
it
I'm
to
from
you.
Philly.
Yeah, I'd give it to you, to be honest.
You know?
All right.
Yeah. I do not protest.
You're really on board with just being like, I'm
What-
from Cleveland.
When are they doing
This
Raw
is
in
the Battle of
Akron? I mean, come
Cleveland.
on. They're not going to do Raw in Akron.
They just need to clarify, just for
And
guys
both of
like
them
me.
have-
I'm gonna fact check. I'm a fact checker.
Both
I
of
know
them
you
have
are.
like claimed to be from Cleveland for years. I think like it's not
All right,
something
well.
new that they're just doing because they're in Cleveland this one time.
Right.
Yeah.
They
Miz
coulda-
especially
they
has
maybe
could
could have just said, well, we're both representing Cleveland. I'm from Akron. He's from Parma.
Yeah.
And
Because
that would have made me a happy camper. But they
Would
didn't.
it? Would
they
it?
They kept the facade and the lie of two Cleveland guys fighting in Cleveland.
look, there's not enough time in a 3-hour and 7-minute broadcast to talk about Akron and Parma.
I just want some clarity.
Okay.
I just want some
Well, you
clarity.
just
in my
clarified
program.
it. You just clarified it.
All right.
I got word from above, guys. You do have time in a 3.5-hour podcast to talk about that.
Oh.
So
3.5-hour podcast.
we
going-
extended
we're
it.
going for
We're
the-
canceling The Bachelor.
We're going for the record
okay.
tonight.
Finally.
Wow, we got a lot to talk about.
going to
The
the
Bachelor
record.
had a good run, though, but
Yeah.
Too bad.
it's time.
I heard that
gonna
guy's
say-
weird anyway.
Zeb stole the wand thing from Juan Pablo on The Bachelor. So like people have been using that as a thing for
because he's
a couple weeks now. So
he's hit some
not original.
I mean,
see, I'm not the only one fact checking wrestling.
Yeah.
She's got him on lockdown too.
Cathy also is very heavily involved with The Bachelor, so therefore she's kind of double dutying at it right now.
You double whammy. You double after talk.
Both shows are very dramatic.
They're very dramatic shows.
Yeah,
especially Juan. He's been getting in trouble in the media.
Yeah. Too much Bachelor talk. People are hating.
Let's move on. All right, Fandango versus R-Truth.
We did a crossover.
Find out more on AfterBuzz.
Yeah.
You're welcome. R-Truth versus Fandango with Xavier Woods. Sans Mustachio on commentary. Summer Rae up to the usual antics, which helps Fandango get the advantage, but eventually Fandango goes for the leg drop, misses it. Truth hits the finisher for the big W, just when we thought Fandango was on his way, getting more aggressive, getting some wins. Truth wins, and then, Woods looking like a little James Brown, just getting in that ring.
What's R-Truth's finisher called? The What's Up? Is it called the What's Up?
I thought it was a little Jimmy at one point.
Yeah, it was a little Jimmy at one point. I missed that angle. The little Jimmy angle was
He's calling it something else. It's a truth check or something. It's
the truth
something
check.
like that. Yeah,
the lie detector.
Lie detector.
That's his other move when he spins.
Okay.
We got more clarifications to happen. For a fan, I'm losing it. I'm really losing it. If you're gonna do a finishing move, it has to have a name.
Should we talk about The Bachelor some more?
And then The Bachelor, he's doing a move called the lie detector.
I do love that Fandango got one of the better pops last night at the Rumble.
He got a good response.
He got a really good pop, although he did get...
People are still Fandangoing.
He was thrown out by El Torito, though, so...
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
a little good, a little bad, but...
That's embarrassing. Maybe Summer Rae will jump ship and start hanging out with El Torito.
Speaking of Summer Rae, I wonder, we saw Emma in the front row for this match. I would love to see like a Summer Rae.
They've been doing that.
Emma was front rowing it, you're right, yeah.
It was pretty cool.
She was
so what is her role? She's just throwing out a hashtag. She just wants you to get on board with a hashtag.
She's not entertaining, she's imitating.
But that's it. That's what the business they've given her so far.
Right.
Hold a sign with your hashtag.
Well, I think it's one of those things where they're given time, because obviously she's still working NXT, she's still wrestling matches. So by just sprinkling her a little bit into Raw, it's setting up question marks about what could be happening.
She's killing it in NXT. She's one of the best parts of that whole show.
Yeah.
I think she's great. Yeah. Her whole awkward dance
That's
thing.
great.
She had an amazing match against Natty the other week.
Yeah.
She's Australian. That's cool.
Yeah, I like
Trained
it.
by Lance Storm.
Yep.
I like Bubbles too. She likes Bubbles.
Who doesn't
Got
like
that bubble
Bubbles?
connection.
Really? I mean,
Does she do stuff with Bubbles?
Everybody loves Bubble.
That sound cue made me want to do this.
grab the imaginary bubbles. Yes,
bubble.
and Andy, they're right in front of you.
I
grab them.
that cue.
So yeah, I don't know. Maybe I initially thought it was going to be possibly an Emma AJ thing, but I think Emma Summer Rae would make more sense. They've worked together a lot more in NXT.
Does anybody else get confused of what all the divas' names are? They seem to all have very similar.
Some of them do.
Emma, Summer Rae. There's a Bailey in the mix.
Michael Cole was confused a few
AJ.
weeks ago.
It's gotta be
Bailey and Summer Rae sound nothing alike.
I'm out of here.
What are you talking about?
You're kind of...
Way to go, fact checker.
Yeah, that you don't know, but you know exactly what small town they're from.
Like
from
flowery. They both make me think of flower. You know what? Forget I said anything.
Didn't Michael Cole confuse someone for Rosa Mendez a few? Like it does happen.
Yeah, he said Rosa was in a match when she wasn't even in the building.
JBL let her have it.
AJ Lee was on commentary.
There's AJ
Eva,
too. That's right.
There was an Eve. There's an Eva. There's a Rose. There's a Rosa. There's a Rosie.
You're just saying names. These are like pets that you have.
I think the only thing are like Eva Marie was supposed to be like Natty or something like that for a while
really?
because that's her actual name.
Oh.
Isn't that? I don't know, something close.
See?
But
Now
that's
you're
the only
agreeing with
thing
me.
that was, or I guess Eva and Eve.
But a minute ago, you were just naming off your grandmother's friends. Like that's all you were.
Beatrice.
That was a bridge club. I'm pretty sure that's a bridge club.
I feel like there's a Beatrice in the Divas division right now.
Thank you for being a friend.
Helen's doing really great. Colleen's killing it.
Helen Hellraiser.
You got Blanche. She's crushing it with her pie bake. Her finishing move, the pie bake.
Mildred and her little dog Matilda.
Mildred comes out.
I am so close to doing a title shot on your head right now.
You gotta do it right. You gotta do the awkward title shot.
Either way, that's not the last Diva talk we have. We have more coming up on the show. Next, guess what, guys? Brad Maddox still has a job.
Hey.
Yep.
He is still the general manager of Raw. What does that mean? We don't know. But he introduces Randy Orton. Orton says usual Orton stuff, and then Batista's music hits. And he tells Orton he's back for 3 reasons, and he didn't mention to get booed at the Rumble.
He's like, Brad Maddox is like the assistant to the regional general manager. Like,
Yeah, exactly.
His title means nothing, but he's got one somehow.
Yeah.
No one should respect his authority, but they still do for some reason.
He's very Michael Scotty.
He's very Michael Scott. He's the Michael
For sure.
Scott of wrestling.
For
right
sure, yeah.
It's amazing.
I kind of like that.
He even shows it in this bit. So Batista comes out. He says, "I've been here for 3 reasons: 1, to win the Rumble; 2, headline WrestleMania; 3, be the WWE World Heavyweight Champion." Brock Lesnar's music hits. Lesnar comes down to the ring. Heyman hits the mic and says, "My client is not an unreasonable man, so I have 2 suggestions. Either Brock Lesnar versus Randy Orton or Brock Lesnar versus Batista. My client wants Triple H's answer tonight." So in other words, Brad Maddox, you have no choice here.
That was like if Paul Heyman was a duck. That impersonation.
I don't know if it was the beautiful HD display we were watching the show on tonight, but Brock looked a little snotty faced today.
Yeah.
And I think that falls under the purview of Paul Heyman's duties to dabble that snot off his face.
He had the sniffles.
Heyman wasn't paying attention.
His head was about to explode. It was just, that was the beginning of things
And that
leaking
equals
out.
more snot coming
Yes. He looked real riled up. I kind of liked it when he
He's
gets
very
out of
red-headed and
control.
snotty.
What does the Brock say? Just a little.
I love that little video.
I think that's exactly what he says. And then when he screams, when he hits the crazy scream,
When he hits that high
and you
note?
don't know what he's saying. Like
Yeah.
when he was telling Big Show, "I'll see you on Sunday" last week.
Yeah.
It just kind of comes out as a burst of energy.
Yep, that's it. into the stratosphere.
Brock's like whole right side of his neck's gonna just explode. One
Yeah,
of these
he should
days.
calm down more often,
Like
probably.
a gasket. You're gonna have to clean up.
Every time I see him, I think scanners. I'm like, his head's gonna go.
Like one of his eyes are gonna pop
Yeah.
out maybe one of these days.
If these
There's a
are
lot
the
of
true,
pressure. A lot of built up pressure in that guy's body.
if these are the true options, Lesnar versus Orton or what was the other one? Lesnar versus Batista.
All good.
I really think both of those are a good answer. We haven't really seen a lot of either of those that I can
Right.
recall. So, but I ultimately agree. I'd like it to go to like a triple threat where it was like.
I think it's
That
safe.
would be awesome.
I think it's safe to say though that Lesnar is going to be in the Elimination Chamber. I would assume, but maybe not.
Maybe not.
Can he fit in there?
It might be a tight squeeze.
Well, you got to remember though, if Orton is in the Elimination Chamber, Paul Heyman's whole thing is Brock Lesnar is going to be next in line for that championship before WrestleMania. So if Lesnar wants a shot at the title, he has to be in the Elimination Chamber because Orton's already in there, right?
You guys are overthinking
I
this.
really want Jimmy John's right now.
Yeah. What were you saying about his t-shirt? I wrote
They
it down.
do have a very nice
Eat at
bread.
Jimmy John's, sleep, conquer, repeat.
Their
That's it.
bread.
That's his actual thing.
The bread is what does it.
Their bread's good. I used to deliver for them. I got a hookup.
You did?
Yep. Mount
You
Pleasant,
are
Michigan.
so fast with
Right?
everything you do,
You
so I
freak.
understand why.
I learned from the best.
You were so quick.
This part of AfterBuzz.
I've
brought
only
to you
ever
by
had one Jimmy
Thank you.
John's.
I'll take that as a compliment. I don't know if it's a compliment, but I'll take it as one. Thank you.
I didn't know they were that good. Okay.
I did. So fast you'll freak. We'll get you a sandwich in a quick hurry.
Okay.
We'll take care of you. And it's custom. It's a custom job. Yeah, I still have connections at JJ's. Oh. Yeah, I put together the Brock Lesnar Jimmy John's deal.
If I ever end up,
I introduced those two parties.
my client Jimmy Johns would like to team up with Brock.
Do you think Paul Heyman set that up? The meeting with Jimmy Johns?
Possibly.
My client is a big into your gargantuan sandwich. Big fan.
My client has space on his shorts.
We have some T-shirt space and we're selling it.
There's probably a really interesting story behind that, though, because the business, no one else is sponsored in the WWE. No one has
How did he get
anything
that?
outside of that. Like, that had to be written into his contract when he came.
Yeah.
So I'm really curious how that actually went down.
That was his cage fighting sponsor.
Right.
He was in the UFC, but why did it carry over?
It was probably that they were willing to give him X amount of dollars, and it was more. It's kind of like a grant. Like he's given this money, and then WWE paid him a little bit less.
Think about this.
I hope he gets paid in sandwiches.
He ended up getting more.
I hope he gets paid in sandwiches.
You have wrestling fans watching all across the country Monday Night Raw that see that Jimmy John's thing, and people still have Monday Night Raw parties, whether you're in college. Jimmy John's, big in college towns. You're telling me that their business hasn't skyrocketed?
They stay open until 3 a.m.
Yeah, because of Brock Lesnar shorts? I guarantee it has. That's a brilliant business decision by Jimmy John's.
It certainly makes me think about it a lot more than I used to. I mean, that I normally would.
I want it right now.
Yeah.
Are they even out here?
Hey, can you actually go grab us some? If you're the delivery correspondent.
Well, it's got to be from Mount Pleasant, Michigan. That's where my hookup is.
The train's parked out front.
I can
we
put in
just
a
got
couple
wandering off topic. Got to get back on.
Oh, come on. Jimmy John's is close enough, gang.
No, it's true.
I feel like there could be an
Anyways,
entire
Brad
podcast.
Maddox doesn't have any say, apparently. Needs to find out from the authority. Next up, we have the Battle of Cleveland. Dolph Ziggler wearing the Cleveland number 69 versus The Miz wearing
versus Parma.
a Brown jersey. The Akron versus Parma. Cleveland adjacent battle.
I'm not letting it go. No, I'm not letting it go.
A lot of counters in this match. These two guys can definitely bring it in the ring. Miz eventually locks in the figure four. Ziggs gets to the ropes. A whole couple of roll-ups afterwards. And finally, zigzag for the win. Dolph Ziggler wins the Battle of Cleveland. I don't know what he got, but he
owns the Browns now.
Yeah.
He just owns the Browns.
Wow.
I was happy to see him win. Last night, he had, honestly, I don't know, one of the top 4 or 5
Because
pops of the
people
night.
weren't expecting him to come back that early.
Yeah, he got cleared from his concussion and was able to participate, and people were just to the moon about it.
Well, I mean,
It was
Duggan
great.
predicted him before, so people kind of saw it coming.
Yeah, he did. That was the only a prediction, and I was like, "What? No way!" And
Yeah.
but Duggan was like very confident about
You know,
it.
I was very happy
Made me
to see.
second guess it.
I was happy to see Duggan there in a
Yeah.
suit.
And not wrestling.
Outdressing
and not
Shawn
in
Michaels.
the Rumble. It was refreshing to see him just in a professional legend. Like for a while, he was still wrestling. And it's like Duggan, come on, buddy.
I love Duggan
You
in a
looked
suit.
old when I was like 6 years old.
He did.
he was like aging when I was.
Well, think about 1988 when he won the Rumble. I
Yeah.
mean, he kind of looks the same.
Yeah,
kinda
it's
does.
not that different. You know, I like that they had at the pay-per-view they had all 4, correspondent people be Hall of Famers. I thought that was kind of cool to have them anchored in that way. That was nice.
HBK was a little underdressed. He was flanked by 2 guys in suits. They look good. They got a suit on Duggan, and he's still sporting his hunting gear. Not into it.
Look, that's his closet right now.
Yeah,
alive,
he had just
Michaels.
come from filming his other show. so
Exactly. He was never a suit guy. When did HBK ever wear a suit?
I can't.
I could see him in a suit.
Maybe Hall of Fame. Maybe.
Class it up a little bit. You're on a Legends panel, pre-Rumble. Come on.
Well, he's already got a ponytail. What's
We're
the point
not
of wearing
going
a
to
suit?
buy bow and arrows from your bow and arrow company, Shawn Michaels. So quit wearing their swag.
Says the guy in the funny hat.
But we will buy Jimmy John's. The train's leaving. All right. So Dolph Ziggler wins the Battle of Cleveland. Good to see him back. We hope he avoids any further injuries because, man, watch out for that head. And, of course, Miz, once again, maybe something setting up with Barrett because, of course, Wade Barrett mentioned how bad the Battle of Cleveland is. Second show in a row where Wade Barrett is bagging on the Miz. So, I don't know. Maybe
I'd just be happy to get Barrett in the ring.
Yes,
At
I
this
agree
point.
with that.
I thought for sure he'd be in the Rumble.
I don't know how they get him down from that pedestal. That's my biggest.
I'd be terrified.
I got heights issues, so watching those segments, I gotta leave the room when
Yeah.
they do that high pedestal.
He's so confident being up there.
It really raises my anxiety levels.
I've got some bad news. I'm nervous. Like,
Somebody
Jesus.
help me down. It seems to get higher and higher, the pedestal.
It does.
It was really up there today.
They'll have to cut a hole in the arena for the next one.
It started next to the table. It was just at a regular, safe level.
It was the anonymous GM
and
level.
they kept bumping it up. Do you think he was like, I need some height? Higher, I can't be high enough. Do you think that's
I
the
like
note he
it.
always gives? I can't be up there high enough.
Tell you what, speaking of height, the Usos were up next because they get some air, gang.
my gosh,
That's a segue for you right
Great
there. The
segue.
Usos versus RybAxel. Here's a RybAxel match I totally get behind. This match was fantastic. You had a long suplex being held by Ryback, and just a crazy ending to it. We had a few different kicks to Ryback while he had one of the Usos on his shoulders. A massive splash where he got air. And the Usos, once again, they're on fire.
That posing midair pose deal that the Usos can pull off.
Oh,
so
yeah.
fun.
That in slow-mo was so
fun,
great.
man.
They are so deserving of
Hell yeah.
what they're getting right now.
Do you think they help each other with the face paint? Like one does one and then the other does the other? Or they do it at the same
It's
time?
well
on the
done.
sides?
It's well done.
These are the things I'm thinking about, you guys.
Or they just use each other as a mirror.
Yeah.
It is
They
exactly
can put
the
their
same.
faces together and it's like one face. Yep.
That would be some twin magic right
Yeah.
there.
Do you think there's a template, a stencil they put over? Guys, let's get into the real.
These are the questions we may never know the answer
Why aren't we
to.
discussing the serious stuff? I mean, we're glossing over the serious stuff.
Axel was spun inside out in this match. I hadn't seen him do something like that. That was such a great move, and that Samoan drop that came as well. This was just, I don't know, high energy.
That Samoan drop.
Good match all the way around. Of course, I mean, the Usos really, pulling out the victory, but RybAxel, solid work.
I'd like to see the Usos take the titles off of.
It's gonna have to happen at some
New Age
point.
Outlaws.
They're going to have to give those dudes the title at some point, yeah. They're just such a undeniably good tag team, and just an obvious tag. Yeah, they're twin brothers. It's just like such an obvious thing that should be tag team.
I feel like that's what we're leading toward in WrestleMania, because right now with the Rhodes brothers, they don't seem to be on the same page. So,
do you think there could be an implosion there?
Brother versus brother.
Goldie versus Schmoldy.
Well, their match is coming up.
I don't know what that means.
But first, I don't even want to know. We're just making up words tonight.
I'm just rhyming with Goldie.
Kofi Kingston, after stealing a large part of the Royal Rumble last night with just everything Kofi Kingston is able to do that no one else on earth can do, versus Alberto Del Rio. Let's first talk about what Kingston did in the Rumble. Yeah. Every year he pulls off something. He did the handstand, actually the hand walk, if you will.
The hand walk,
The
chair hopping.
The chair pogo stick.
Of JBL last year.
Man.
People were talking smack about that on the tweets last night. During the Royal Rumble, people were like, I wasn't impressed with his chair pogo stick from last year. It's like, are you kidding me?
Yeah.
He does the most amazing stuff. You're going to critique.
And last night, he gets thrown out. Alexander Rusev catches him. And decides to lay him on the barricade. Kofi manages, I don't know how long this is from the barricade to the ring, but Kofi, you could see him like measuring it up, and the crowd's just like, oh man, he's gonna do it. And he nails the landing.
I didn't think he was gonna hit it. It looked short for a second there, but man.
Yeah, it was glorious. I
Every
really
year,
dug it.
it's almost like it was, I don't want to say it's an afterthought, but it shouldn't be. Like, Kofi Kingston is one of the best people to watch. And what he did last night was incredible, and I really would love to see, I don't know, something.
If
more Kofi?
Yeah. More Kofi. If the universe wants to get pissed about something, Daniel Bryan's had a pretty fair run, to be honest with you, so far. I mean, he's had a lot of build-up.
And it ain't over.
And it's certainly not over, and he only has more to go. But Kofi has been so consistent and always performed really high, and we had that thing with Orton that he spoke on the mic really well for. We should be mad that Kofi hasn't gotten something better than this.
It's just really like they don't know what to do with him. Like they
don't.
Keep trying to put him into things, but it never comes to like a full storyline.
Kofi's got it all. Here's my question: when is Dean Ambrose going to defend the U.S. title? How about that?
Ever? Yeah, ever. Does he ever defend it?
I could see that being a good feud.
Kofi Dean for the U.S. title? Yeah.
You know,
that would be good.
I just think.
When was the last time he actually fought for that?
It's crazy.
It's been a while.
Like we made fun of Curtis Axel for not defending it, but good God.
We should look that up. I don't have a.
Do you think they're ever going to unify that in the Intercontinental title?
I don't think.
It would
not anytime soon.
But how could you even do that? Yeah, never mind.
Yeah. I would love to see the hardcore title come back. That'd be funny.
But I want to see.
Never.
Big E's got the Intercontinental title. I was talking to you. I want to see Rusev, Big E.
Oh boy.
Put him right in. Put him right in the Intercontinental picture. I would be way into that.
Yeah.
I'd be way into that.
I completely support that.
Are you listening? WWE, are you listening?
There's a good chance that might happen.
It was just. I mean, their body types are so the same. Like it's a matchup that's just kind of obvious. And if they really want to give him a push, put him right into some sort of title picture. Don't just leave him hanging.
Hopefully we see both of them on SmackDown, because was Big E on tonight?
No, he was not.
I don't think so. And neither was
Big E in the Rumble? Oh, yeah.
Well, we do have Christian making his return to SmackDown this Friday.
They announced that.
So. NXT was teasing a Wyatt versus Shield. Just because of like NXT stuff.
In an NXT taping?
No, they were just teasing it like tonight. I know a lot of people were wondering after the main event, just what's going to happen, and I think they said. I don't have it up, but NXT teased something about like, oh well, wouldn't we all like to see this happen?
Well, once we get to the end of the Raw, that could give us a little bit more clarity in the situation.
Yeah. But another NXT versus NXT.
Yeah, sweet. But Kofi Kingston, what he did last night was just every year he finds a way to be creative.
How's he going to top that? That's my question.
I don't know. He's going to literally have to disappear.
Yeah, he'll have to like come in through the rafters. Yeah. How would you top? He jumped from the barrier to the ring.
We're gonna need a hologram Kofi.
They're gonna have to put him in some situation where it's like impossible, and maybe he gets like a golf cart or something. Like somebody carries him to the backstage.
He gets thrown out into a moving golf cart that just happened to be driving by.
The Undertaker.
It gets more and more elaborate.
The Undertaker brings back the badass gimmick.
Right.
He just happens to be coming by.
He fumbles into a cot that's by the ring, and he's just in a cot, and then a golf cart comes and picks him
They
up.
accidentally leave a Segway near the ring. Kofi hits it.
He puts on a pair of rollerblades. Like, technically, I'm rollerblading. That's how he gets through it. My feet aren't touching. My feet aren't touching. And he just rollerblades around the ring.
But yeah, we just want to give love to Kofi. Congratulations to what he did last night. And I think him versus Dean, that would be
cool.
Solid.
Now that you mention it, that would be cool.
Yeah,
because they got to do something with that title. They're just keep a title on a guy.
Yeah.
Got it. Well, yeah, we'll see what happens there. Oh, but with the match, though, unfortunately, ADR came out on top. Got very aggressive. Kofi hit the Trouble in Paradise. Foot was on the ropes. ADR ends up hitting the backstabber for a 2 count. Then he gets real mad, ends up nailing the double stomp off the top rope, and then a kick to the head for the win. And he's clearly going after Batista, so that's going to be quite interesting.
Yeah, he cut that promo against Batista, so I
don't
think...
get that. Batista seems to have other things going on.
Well, Elimination Chamber, he does not.
Yeah.
That's true.
He's set for Mania, now he's bored at Chamber, so...
But they haven't even got, like, Batista hasn't even mentioned, like, ADR's doing all this talking, and Batista hasn't even cut
He did the Batista bomb to him when he first came, and then he threw him out of the Rumble yesterday.
You're right, you are correct.
So it's enough.
Well, moving on, we had a tag team championship rematch from last night. The Rhodes Brothers versus the New Age Outlaws. Of course, Road Dogg hits the mic as he tends to do, gets in Cody's face and said, "You were good last night. You just weren't good enough," which... Bam! Punch from Cody after that. But Outlaws using that ring psychology during the match, ducking away from moves, taking breaks outside of the ring. Just when things are heating up, Brock Lesnar comes in, F5s the Brothers Rhodes.
Yeah, because he didn't get what he wanted that night. Well, that's what it was. He
That's
didn't
what Paul
get what
Heyman
he wanted,
said.
so he's going to punish some folks.
The Authority decided to do choice number 3, which means he didn't get what he wants, and that became chair shots to everyone.
The guy can break a chair. He's really good at that.
Second night in a row.
Didn't fully make sense for me as to why.
He's just upset. Just blanket upsetness. He didn't, well, they said give us this match, or the third option will happen, and we'll just see what that is, and that's what we got. That was the third option.
And in the back, Triple H is going, "Oh, someone didn't get what they wanted."
While the poor Rhodes brothers are getting murdered.
Oh, boy.
By that guy's murdered people. Come on, let's be honest with ourselves. Brock Lesnar has a body count.
Those chair shots look so horrible.
He's murdered a family with a chair before.
The way the chair breaks?
with his face.
scream
With his
alone.
facial expression.
Yeah.
His facial expression has toppled villages.
Yeah.
But I do like that they're not done with this feud, and they definitely want to keep this going. I like that there wasn't a clear winner, and we can get, more Rhodes.
I think
Outlaws.
You're right, and then I think this will possibly it's gonna test the Rhodes brothers' chemistry as brothers, and of course the New Age Outlaws, first time being tag champs in almost 15 years. So
Yep.
already on brand new T-shirts, brand new outlook.
They're using a better paint on gold dust these days. It wears off a lot in a lot less time. It holds up better. It used to it would just come right off his face.
Well, Dale is a
Now
hell of a
it's staying
makeup
on
artist,
there.
so he could probably attest to whatever
What do
he
you
might
think
do.
they're working
Probably stepped his game up. Yeah. Got some more waterproof foundation going on there.
It seems like it's a
Primer?
waterproof. It doesn't seem to sweat off as much.
Well, that paint wasn't chair-proof this evening, unfortunately.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Not much is, turns out.
No.
Not much is.
But he's going with, are they acknowledging that as a Darth Maul pattern? Are we calling it that yet?
Yeah, we were calling him...
Darth Maul
What did we say before? We said gold Darth is what we...
Gold
when he
Darth?
first started doing it, we were saying that.
Gold Darth.
Goldie, yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I'll take it.
Gold Darth.
Next, we have really cool 8 Diva tag team match. Bella Twins and Funkadactyls versus AJ, Tamina, Oksana, and Alicia Fox. You know, you never know what to expect with a massive tag like this with Divas, but...
I was in the bathroom.
You were saying it was going to be sloppy.
I was in the bathroom.
This was...
This was so good.
This was really, really good. I was shocked.
There were some spots here.
There were some really big things that they hadn't done before.
I came back on board because I came in from the bathroom and you guys were like, "Whoa, something crazy just happened," and I watched it and it was the move.
We were round up for it. Yes, we did. But yeah, Tamina destroying
was
Nikki
impressed.
at one point, but then Nikki with a solid upside down kick to get out of it to the dome. Naomi gets AJ Lee in the corner. She does a move that Cathy Kelley...
I called it motor butting.
That is my favorite hashtag of the day, I gotta say.
It was so good I got ripped off. Someone stole it from you.
One of Cathy's devoted followers decided to use the same hashtag
okay.
after
I'm coming
Cathy.
for you.
That's paying homage.
She thinks it's
Yeah.
okay, but I'm coming for you. I'm not going to let it stand.
I don't know if you know how hashtags work.
I got friends
but-
at Jimmy John's.
We've been doing this great thing tonight since we aren't live right now. Unfortunately, the website's down. It should be up soon. But we've been doing live chats on Twitter since we don't have chat roll, and a lot of people have been sending in stuff. So thanks. And it's all hashtag motorbutting.
Yeah.
I mean, how could you not?
All of it.
Hashtag motorbutt. I'm
All
gonna
of it's
hashtag.
hashtag
I wanted to try to get it trending, so I felt like that was the only way, and it's never gonna get that big.
Pretty good way.
But
I loved it. It cracked me up.
Right.
Wait, which
It really
moves the
needs to be.
motorbutt when she
it's
jumps?
when AJ.
She was on the corner.
on the corner. I think she was on the second rope, and
Yep.
AJ just walks right into her butt, and then she like jiggles her butt
Yeah.
in AJ's face.
AJ met the dark side of the moon.
Oh yeah.
Didn't
She
they
got
used to
crunked
call
on.
that the Bronco Buster when X-Pac did it?
Well, that's way different.
No, that's a different move.
Yeah.
was just trying to find some medium.
There's no parallels with this move. No parallels with this
motorbutt.
move.
You cannot compare the motorbutt to the Bronco Buster.
No, not even close.
My bad.
Or the stink face.
But
Yeah.
honestly, there was a tilt-a-whirl backbreaker from Alicia Fox that was so clean and looked so great. A missile drop kick from Brie.
Solid.
I mean, there was a great.
Can we talk about that
And
power
then
bomb at the
Beatrice
end?
came in.
Triple
The
suplex.
triple suplex
What?
Suplex, yeah.
was amazing.
Done
Never
real
seen
well.
that. Yeah.
I've never seen dudes do that. I've never seen that done ever.
And it happened. They reversed it too. Like the other girls were trying to do it, and then they reversed it and did it to them. It was so
Yeah.
smooth and clean. I thought this was such a solid
I've seen
match.
like the stack on the tower in the corner, but I've never seen a horizontal triple line. That was cool.
Kudos for this match. It was great. And of course, Naomi ends up hitting the rear view, the butt for the
butt
win.
butt.
Love that move. You got 2 butt moves in one match. That's a pretty
And
good
if you're
match.
an NXT fan, Mojo Rawley, he's a dude in NXT. He's a
does that.
guy doing the butt. Or yeah, the butt ram.
Doing the
jump
butt
split. The jump
Initially
split
made
butt ram.
famous by the Iceman King Parsons, way back in the, I want to say, whenever World Class Championship Wrestling was, 70s or 80s.
It's a move that's coming out of retirement.
Yeah. I wish I want someone to mention it. That's what I want someone
It's
to mention.
getting dusted off.
Mention the Iceman, for God's sake.
Yeah.
You know. But, great Divas match. Great Divas match.
Yeah, I loved it.
Moving on,
Again, I was in the bathroom.
Jerry the King Lawler introduces the next inductee to the 2014 WWE Hall of Fame.
Who was it, Johnny?
Steven, do we have that music? Okay.
Nope.
Steve left. We're not streaming. He doesn't care.
We have plenty of time left in the show. Still have 2.5 hours, guys. We'll figure it out. Jake the Snake Roberts is the next inductee, ladies and gentlemen.
I'm excited. My favorite of all time.
Me too. I'm
It's about freaking time.
Oh,
there it
thank
is.
you. There it is.
The most ominous could be anybody music.
Get into
I
it.
mean,
Oh no,
history of wrestling.
no! This music is perfect for Jake's persona. Come on
It is
now.
like a little psychological.
It's intimidating. It's psychological.
It's like
It's got
serial
you
killer
thinking to
music.
yourself. It's like, wait a minute. Whoa, wait. Is this New York, 1977? Is Son of Sam on the loose? What's happening right now?
Or just really sensual dancing could also happen in this music. like you could do like
A little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I could see a stripper working
it.
with this song.
This is amazing. We have the Ultimate Warrior and Jake the Snake Roberts on the same Hall of Fame
best.
card.
You could just do the Hall of Fame and still go home happy.
Yeah.
It looks like a great.
That's going to be the greatest Hall of Fame speech, followed by the most incoherent Ultimate Warrior Hall of Fame speech, which I can't wait for. I hope he talks about like ships landing on Mountain
Oh yeah.
Warrior or something like that.
I'm sure he's
the
not
plane's
preparing
gonna
anything.
crash into the mountain.
That song sounds like it's out of a John Hughes movie too.
Someone's driving a car.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is
At
like a
nighttime.
It's like a car montage.
It's a car driving montage where you just have time
They're
to sit and ponder.
angry. They like hit the steering wheel because they're so frustrated.
And then you see what they're frustrated about in a sort of
Yep.
like montage
Flashback
floating over
dream
his-
sequence. Yeah.
I mean, it's definitely the bullies at school.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
No doubt about that. But
I
Jake
can-
the Snake.
Oh, excited. I mean, how are they going to do it? I really want to contemplate like what they're going to do for like the Hall of Fame. Or are they going to try to remember when whenever they would do the Hall of Fame? Sometimes back in the day, they would try to incorporate them with what was going on with WrestleMania. Like when Chris Jericho did the whole like knocking all the Hall of Famers down a couple pegs. When
Right.
the Dragon when Ricky Steamboat was nominated,
Right.
he had a match with him. Do you think they'll do any of that?
I don't know.
That would be fun.
And is Damien going to be there? Who knows?
Damien the Snake.
Yeah, no, the other Damien. Yes.
I thought you were gonna say Sandow, which I'm
I'm sorry.
Damien Sandow.
I don't think Damien Sandow's going to be at Jake the Snake's Hall of Fame induction.
If they put Damien Sandow in a bag and bring him out, I would be
I'd be okay with that.
They should do. Let's figure out who the ultimate Damien is. Damien Sandow versus Damien the Snake.
My God.
That's a poll.
To quote Gorilla Monsoon, will you stop? We cannot wait to see Jake the Snake. On to the main event. John Cena, Sheamus, Daniel Bryan versus The Shield. The winners will be in the Elimination Chamber match against Randy Orton and 2 other superstars at the Elimination Chamber pay-per-view. Sheamus looking aggressive early on. You could tell he's happy to be back.
Still pale. Still hasn't tanned.
He has not tanned, but he looked good. Had a big scar in the back of his shoulder. I believe he had a labral tear, which would explain the long absence. Very hard injury to come back from. It's even harder than having a rotator
Probably
cuff
a
tear.
chest pounding injury.
It's a brogue.
You get too aggressive with those chest pounds, you can rip a shoulder blade.
You sure can. Of course, Cleveland rocks once Daniel Bryan hits the ring. DB gets Rollins in a surfboard move, which you enjoy.
I like it. I like the surfboard. It's a lucha. It's a wink to lucha, which I love. And not many people can actually. Daniel Bryan has to bail on the surfboard because sometimes he puts it like Dean Ambrose can't do it. He's bailed on Dean trying to do it.
You need good flexibility.
Seth can do it. Full
Absolutely
flexibility.
Reigns gets the Superman punch to John Cena. Looked incredible. Cena's knocked out. Goes for the spear. Cena dodges, sends him out of the ring. Cena's getting beat up for a long time. Finally gets Daniel Bryan in the ring. He's all over the Shield. The flying goat. A flurry of kicks to Seth Rollins. 2 count because Reigns breaks up the pin. Reigns ends up spearing Sheamus and then spears Cena, but Daniel Bryan now with the running knee to Roman Reigns. Cena locks in the STF. Then the Wyatt family shows up. They fight back, but guess who wins via DQ?
I don't remember.
Who?
John
Too much
Cena.
activity.
A lot of activity. A lot to recap.
I'm glad you took notes.
Really solid match. John Cena, Daniel Bryan, and Sheamus win via DQ.
They did it.
Which we talked about. Wyatt family Shield.
Yeah.
Yes, please.
So maybe will the fans be a little happier? They got kind of what they wanted. A little bit.
Interesting
more.
that they didn't
Daniel
have.
Bryan's in the chamber.
Yeah, I thought that Daniel Bryan would go out clean tonight on top.
Yeah.
Not a DQ. But if this DQ is setting up
If it's setting
Shield
up for
versus
something.
Wyatt, I'm fine.
Yeah.
But even if it goes all the way through and the fans get what they want, is Daniel Bryan versus Batista, is that something that people want to see? Daniel Bryan Batista? Just doesn't have a
I
ring
think
to it.
they'll just be happy with Batista not having the title.
You're right.
Yeah.
I still want to see Bryan Triple H at WrestleMania. Make it happen.
I mean, he got in his face this evening, and I don't think that's.
They had a nice face-off.
Don't forget, Punk is also in Triple H's face, though.
Who?
CM Punk.
Well, who's that guy?
Yeah, he's an amazing guy.
Is he still around?
He's best in the world.
I wanted to come back. I'm a huge Punk fan. I'm a little disheartened. They gave him no business tonight.
Which makes me wonder if there's going to be some on SmackDown. You would think.
He might have needed the night off.
He didn't get hurt, did he get hurt last night?
No, I don't think so.
No, he looked fine. He was in there for a long time. But yeah, so very interesting the way the Raw ended. You know, the Shield is livid, and it's amazing how a DQ all of a sudden gets these 3 guys in the chamber. Now we have Randy Orton, John Cena, Daniel Bryan, Sheamus all in the chamber with room for 2 more. The question is, who's it going to be? That's a pretty darn good lineup right now.
Yeah, and I don't think there's a clear winner in that situation. Like I think Orton will have had it long enough at that point that anybody could take that belt off of him at the chamber.
But boy, does that change WrestleMania.
Well, it gives him a reason to have a rematch, and then it could set up a triple threat.
That's what I'm saying. They need to spice up.
If it's Daniel Bryan, Batista, and then Orton is in there as a triple threat, I can see that being a really fun match for the crowd.
You're right, because I think it's safe to say, and I think as much as they are having fun with driving the fans nuts, I think they even realize that I don't think Batista versus Randy Orton for all the marbles is what they want WrestleMania 30.
Yeah.
Maybe they do. I don't know.
You can do those like authority build-ups where you're not going to get what you want, but not for Mania. I mean, WrestleMania is kind of the event.
WrestleMania 30.
Yeah, it's kind of where you're like, yeah, WrestleMania
Triple
30,
X's.
exactly. You're gonna get. They're gonna kind of give. I'd like to think they're gonna give the fans exactly what they want.
I also think two years in a row of Cena, 2 years in a row of Once in a Lifetime, where the belt was on somebody who is a temporary guy.
Exactly.
A temporary, he had a 3-year run, but it was still a temporary situation. I don't know
currently
how.
temporary.
Yeah,
And
I don't
Rock
know
Cena
how.
2 became a spot fest because Rock tore his ribcage. They couldn't do anything.
Right.
So that was very disappointing.
Well, and that's one thing we haven't mentioned yet. Rock's not gonna come back, is he? Is he gonna come back?
No. He said maybe 31.
When he
Yeah,
has
they
a
haven't
movie out.
even teased it. Or
I would think he'd make an appearance. Maybe he'll be the host again, but nothing as far as. And we still haven't seen Taker.
Yeah.
I mean, what's going to happen there?
You can't have WrestleMania without Taker.
You would think.
I would love to see, my dream thing with Taker for WrestleMania is something to do with the Wyatt family.
Oh boy.
Something where he comes out and like tries to put an end to the whole Wyatt family situation, where they lead it up with like a whole group of dark guys versus the king of the Dark Prince.
Right.
What's one of his? Is that one of his nicknames?
I don't think so.
The Dark Prince.
It's okay.
But you know what I'm saying? Like a dark on dark.
Making up words, making up nicknames.
I'm out of here.
You know what?
I can't be in this room
we
anymore.
understand that the fan reaction from the Royal Rumble was so incredibly strong. We had to talk about it. I have faith that something is going to. I think it's going to get better, and I think Raw was a pretty strong start tonight. I thought Cleveland was on fire. Pittsburgh was amazing last night, and I think it's going to be a very, very exciting couple of months we got lined up for us.
And
here.
I thought the Rumble was good. I liked the Rumble.
For the most part, the Rumble was fantastic. The
fans are just always
the ending
whiny.
drove everyone nuts.
Yeah.
With that said, Cathy, put yourself over.
You can find me on Twitter at Catherine Kelley, and if your live stream is working for some reason, you can find me on The Bachelor after show in a couple hours.
Boomtown. Dale Rutledge.
You can tweet me at The Walking Dale on Instagram and Twitter, and please check out the Wrestling Compadres on Nerdist.com. It's Johnny and I show every Wednesday.
You better believe it. And Andy Peters.
You can get me at Andy_Peters. I had to do that because
How
there's
did you do
another
that?
Andy Peters. There's a couple of us.
Pshaw.
I have a podcast. You should always be listening to it. Always. SoundCloud.com/WanderTown.
Sounds good. Andy, thank you for being here. At Jay Quasto, as always, and like Dale said, at Wrestling Buds on Twitter. Booker T is our partner. He's on every single episode. Please check it out. We will love you for it. And we love you guys for watching and listening every single week. Hit us up on the Twitter, and we will see you next week. Good night, everybody.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.
Thank you for watching AfterBuzz TV on YouTube. For more of your favorite after shows and interviews, subscribe to our channel here, and be sure to share your opinion on the episode in the comment section below here. We'd love to see what you guys are buzzing about. Thanks again. Buzz you later.